What are your thoughts on this, the buy now, pay later idea? And how does that fit into credit and debt? And what are your opinions on that?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I know it's really become quite a large industry and it does give people the ability to make purchases that they might otherwise not be able to make. But what I'm seeing is a lot of those purchases are discretionary purchases. They might be some sort of trip or presents for the upcoming Christmas holiday, whatever that might be. Oftentimes, the purchases that are being made with these buy now, pay later platforms are ones that really, if you're more disciplined or willing to cut back in the short term, you could avoid altogether. It's not like these are free lunches for people. They might entice you saying if you pay it off by X day, then you'll have low interest or no interest. And if you can indeed do that, just like with a credit card, then there's no problem with that. But if there's any type of hesitancy or lack of confidence in your ability to pay that off by the deadline at which interest will start to kick in, then I would again say to kind of treat these as credit cards and don't make those purchases unless you have the cash or the income to pay it off. So I'm not a huge fan of it just in terms of I feel like it caters to people's, I guess, the things that they want to buy and discretionary purchases and not so much the necessary day-to-day items that you might need to survive. So I think there's a place for it, but again, people need to be very disciplined when it comes to the buy now, pay later offers that they see, especially that will pop up here around Black Friday and Christmas.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed you mentioned the word discipline several times. When I think of personal finance and even just investing in general, it seems that there's what we know we should be doing and what we ultimately end up doing because of our emotions. For example, and maybe this is a bad example, I know I should cook, prepare, and eat vegetables more and be more disciplined in that way, but I don't feel the urgency a lot of times. And so I would struggle turning that idea of I know I should do this and it's good for me into action. Do you have any thoughts on how people can start a path towards using more discipline with their money?
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be an all or nothing approach. I don't think to be disciplined, you need to cut out all discretionary purchases top to bottom all at once. I think starting slowly, kind of with a bit of a snowball mentality, maybe you cut out your Starbucks coffee. That's kind of the typical example, or some small purchase at the store, or something you always do on your way to work. Or maybe you cut out the gym membership and start working out outside if the weather allows. Things like that, I think, can help you build momentum. And when you start to see some of the results of how much you're able to save or how much debt you're able to reduce in the first month or 2 months, I think that gives a lot more added motivation when you start to see the fruits of your labor. So I'd say start small. You don't have to go from 0 to 100 when it comes to saving and being disciplined. I also think just getting into a routine, whether that's a few days or a couple months, I think it becomes very easy and you're almost not even thinking about it anymore once you kind of develop that into your day-to-day routine. So I'd say start small, build it up over time, look at the results, look at how much you're saving, watch your debt being reduced right in front of your eyes, and things like interest also being reduced. And I think that will kind of help people build that momentum and really try to be disciplined in a lot of different categories.